Hi everyone, how you doing? It's Anna here. So just thought I'd come up with a video because it's the holidays and we're trying to keep you busy. So today what the craft that I'm going to do is inspired by the movie Charlotte's Web. So we watched it the other morning and really enjoyed it, so we thought we'd have a craft related to something we'd watched. So we did this at home. So here's one I've made earlier, and it is our own spider's web and spider. Okay, it's pretty fun to make. It can be like a hanging mobile, I suppose, or you can just play with it. It's kind of up to you. Okay, so I'm going to go through and show you how to make it. So the things you're going to need, okay, are a cardboard box or a sheet of cardboard, anything. This is from our recycler. Some wool, doesn't matter what colour it is really. Some scissors, a couple of markers. Okay, I've got black, you could use felt tip, and red, but if whatever colours you want really, you can have any kind of colour spider. A hole punch, if you've got one at home, makes it easier. If not, you can always use a sharp pencil or a pen. And something to make your spider from. Okay, something a little bit to make your spider from. So I'm using a bit of sponge from a kitchen sponge. Just ask before you take the sponge. You don't really want to use a dirty one. Okay, and then you'll need either a little bit of glue or a little bit of tape, but whichever can choose. We'll see when we get there. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is that you need to cut a circle out of your cardboard box. So you could maybe get a plate or something, or a big piece of sellotape to draw around, but you can choose to have your circle what size you want it. Okay, so it's kind of up to you. So I'm just going to cut a bit of the cardboard box out first, okay, and then I can put my circle into it. So I'm just going to draw my circle. I'm going to use a pencil and just draw my circle. I might actually use my pen so I can show it to you. Okay, so you could draw around something if you want, but I don't really mind. So I've got my big circle drawn, and then I want you to make it look a bit like a donut, so but quite a skinny donut. Okay, so I'm going to draw another circle, just kind of shadowing that circle inside. So I want a shape like this. Okay, so I'm going to just cut that out now. So I need to cut out round the edge and in the middle. Okay, so you cut all the way round your shape. If you can hear a bit of rustling, that's my doggy Luna. She's just jumping around in the room. Okay, and then into the middle. Now my tip for cutting out a middle is to try and fold it in half a little bit. And we don't need the middle bit particularly. So I'm just going to kind of do a cut across, and then that gets me in. Okay. If you need some help with this at home, just ask someone to help you, okay? Cutting can be a little bit difficult. Okay. And just cut out that circle as well. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, okay? Everybody's spider web can be a bit different. Okay, so I've got a circle like this. Hello. Okay. And what you can do is you can colour it in at this point if you want. Okay, so you could do it any shape you wanted. Okay, and I would colour in maybe the back at this point, but I would leave one forward because you're going to try and make one bit of it a little bit webby, and it might actually be a bit easier to do it when you have your holes in. But what you could do, if you want to do that straight away, is mark where you want your holes to be. Okay, so you just want your holes to be randomly kind of around the circle, because you're going to thread your wool through those holes. So just kind of making dots to go around like that, okay? And then where those dots are, you're going to draw lines, okay? Lines. You see? So you draw lines going down where those dots are, okay? And just go all the way around so all your dots turn into lines, so they look like this. Okay, that makes sense. And then you're going to try and give it this spider's web effect. So if you see what you're doing, it's kind of like a little smiles. Okay, so I'm going to do like 3 smiles per section. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, some smiles per section. Okay, and then you go over to the next side and you just do exactly the same, and they don't need to be perfectly neat, and it doesn't matter if they're not exactly joined. You could have them so they all kind of meet all the way around, like the spider was actually making it. And if you've got a big circle, you might want to have like 3 or 4 smiles per section, or you might just have 1 or 2. Remember, it's your web, it's your spider, so your spider's made it however it wanted. to make it. And if you want your spider's web to be multicolored, that could happen too. So you go all the way around and you've kind of got this web effect now. Okay, it's pretty cool. And if you want to just colour in the back side as well, you can totally colour it in, or you could stick paper on that side. Yeah, or you could just colour it in one colour, so you could leave it as it is. Either's fine. Okay, and then going to make your hole punch, or if you haven't got a hole punch, you could use a sharp pencil. Okay, and on the bits where you've done your lines, you're going to make a hole. So I'm going to use my hole punch and just make a hole all the way around at every line. If they're not exactly on each line, then that's okay. Okay, and they could be closer to the inside if you wanted, or on the outside if that's easier. Okay, so if you haven't got it, then my recommendation is that you use a sharp pencil and you just kind of push and then push the pencil through. Okay, and you'll get a hole pretty much about the same size, so you just push your pencil through and don't stab your fingers. You best not to. Okay, and then when you've done that, you're going to get some wool. Okay, any colour wool will do. And just start threading through any of the holes. Okay, oh, I missed one there. So start threading through any hole. Okay, and you just go back and forth to any of the holes. Yeah, doesn't have to be, and it's quite, you know, this is your chance for it to be exactly how you want it to be. So you can just go back and forth. Yeah, and you can have as many as you want. That's okay. It can be a little bit difficult to thread sometimes, but you just keep going back and forth, threading it back and forth. Okay, all the way around. I'm not going to sit doing that because I'll bore you. Okay, so then once you've done that, it would be done. Your spider's web would be done. Okay, so you'd need to make your spider. So here's my spider. So it's really easily made. I've got a bit of sponge, okay, and I'm just going to cut out like kind of like a circle shape. You can kind of do a bit of sculpting here. Okay, so I've cut off a bit of a sponge. I'm kind of going to try and make it into a circle-y shape, but it's quite hard to get a circle shape out of sponge. So I've got this kind of shape. Whoops, here it is. Okay, and you can just kind of trim it. Yeah, kind of trim it to, I just think it's quite nice and light, so it helps your spider. And then all I did was do 2 eyes with a 1 colour marker, so I've got 2 red eyes. Okay, and it's about having an effect. It's never gonna just kind of press your pen down, so they've got 2 big red eyes. Okay, now you could leave it the colour of your sponge if you wanted. You could have a green spider, or again you can just take your felt tip and you can just kind of colour in the sponge. Yeah, it's like, because it's sponge, it kind of has like quite a nice light effect, and it's a bit, just gives it a bit more texture. Yeah, so there we can see we have our spider's body, really, isn't it? And then you just get a bit of your cardboard. Now you can use the piece that was in the middle, and my advice is that you just kind of draw out a rectangle like this, and that your spider would sit over the top like that. Okay, so you just cut out your rectangle. It'll have to be really neat. Okay, and then you're going to have your spider's legs that you're just going to cut up. So if you want to, you could just draw on lines. So you would just need 2 lines on each side, so that you end up with some legs. Okay, you can have 3 lines actually if you want to have 8 legs, because spiders do have 8 legs. Okay, so it looks like this. It's like piano keys, doesn't it? Kind of. Okay, and you just cut the lines. So you don't want to go all the way, because you want to stick your spider's body in the middle bit there. Okay, now because it's sponge, you want to stick probably just a little bit of tape or glue on your spider and stick them down. And then you can colour in your legs any colour you want. So I coloured them in red before, so just colour them in red or black or purple or green or orange or pink, whatever you want to colour in. And before you stick your spider on it, just kind of bend the legs to get them separate a little bit. Yeah, and then you just stick your spider to the top like this. There we go, and you have your little spider. Okay, and then your little spider can just knit in to your web. You see? So just like my one here, because you've cut the legs, it'll just sit wherever you want it to sit in your web. Okay, and then you can hang up your web. It's quite nice in the window, or if you've got bunk bed, you could hanging down from the top bunk, whatever you think, whatever you like. Okay, but that's one way for you to make your own spider in its web. Okay, have fun at home. If you decide to join in, take a picture, post it for us. Take care, see you soon.